on 100.7
WMMS.
There were a handful of celebrities that died over the weekend. Dig into those in a bit. 35192, want to send me a text. AlanCoxShow.com is where you can watch. Another $1,000 for you. In about 6 minutes or so, listen for those keywords because they come pretty fast and furious. So about 30 past, you got a shot to go fund yourself. And invariably, people will text me the word, don't do that. You're going to want to put it in. They tell you in each and every keyword. But you're going to want to put it in at WMMS.com. While you are there, by the way, if you're looking to join us for the Polar Blast and you're not on one of our teams, you can still join us. We've got the discount ticket link, $25 discount tickets. Go to WMMS.com, hit the contest page. Who will win the 2023 Alan Cox Show Polar Blast Battle? You can vote for which team you think will win. My Coxicles, Big Billy's Bottom Boys, Mary's Snow Babies, or Barely White, Poundcake and Barry White's team. And there's a link there for you to get the $25 discount tickets. Thank you also to Statement Limousine, who will be getting us there and back. It's brought to you by Circle K and Pepsi. If you want to get those discount tickets, so join us up there because it's no fun unless you're there. Hey, John. Hello.
Hi, Alan.
What's up?
We did our specimens different. I'm 65 years old, and we were able to do them at home. I don't know if that was an option, but
it was an option.
And, I ended up having a low count, so I had to take a specimen in. You rush it down, put it under your armpit. Got to be warm. You set it down, and you go home. And then the doctor calls me, and he goes, "Well, let's do something different." He goes, "I want the first portion in one bottle, and then the rest of it in another bottle." So you're trying to do this with a bottle in each hand, and you almost need like extra hands. And here I end up having a high ligation, and the count went up. I had 2 girls. The wife had a miscarriage. We said, let's have a vasectomy,
What's
no
going on
more.
here?
Well, of course, I didn't wait like I was supposed to. And he calls me and says, you got to come in.
Yeah.
And I could hear him like, what? And I go, no, I didn't wait. It's not your fault. So I went in after my son was born. I ended up having a boy. I only had 2 girls, so it was God sent. And he's an attorney today, and everything worked out. That's my story.
Thank you, John. There's a lot going on there. Yeah, I had the option of doing it off campus, and I opted not to do that. Like I said, if anything got jammed up, I didn't want to be running around with a cup of sperm in my armpit. No thanks. So I opted to do it there. And the office was completely empty. It's just me. And they knew I was coming, if you'll pardon the pun. They were expecting me. They knew it was me when I showed up. So, again, that was an option, but I wasn't going to, I didn't want to mess around with that. Let me play a little bit of this for you. It's a band called Television. You got to be my age or older to remember Television. Talking about dead celebrities. See, Poundcake, these are the early days of punk rock. Of course, it ended with Panic at the Disco, Poundcake's favorite punk band.
I'm so hurt, y'all.
I know. There's a band called Television. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but these were these early 70s New York bands who kind of formed when CBGB was just kind of getting going. There were a handful of bands that really formed the nucleus of the sound and that club. There was Richard Hell and the Voidoids. There was Blondie. The Talking Heads in this band, Television. And Tom Verlaine was the founder of Television. He was the guitarist. He was the singer. And there are a whole lot of bands that came after that cite them as an influence. A lot of punk bands, a lot of kind of post-rock bands who will cite Television as one of their favorite bands. I don't think they did an album for a long, long time. And again, this is one of these things where it's like, even if it's not a band that I was super into, because like I said, you have to be a certain age to even remember Television. Even if it's not a band that I always think of somebody who might be listening to this program who is putting together their first band, and maybe they hear something that kind of strikes a chord with them, and then they can go back and listen to television. It might be something that you really, really dig. It was never my vibe. I mean, I was much more of a Blondie fan, but I mean, obviously, a lot of bands that came after television, and it was a long time ago. Tom Verlaine was 73 when he died. He had been suffering from a brief illness and died in New York City with his friends around him. We got the press release today that John Adams died.
Yeah, that's such a bummer.
He was a guy that was always drumming in the bleachers at Indians games, Guardians games. He was 71. He started drumming at Municipal Stadium in 1973. And am I incorrect that there was some controversy over the last few years, like they were having him sit somewhere else, or
I don't
there were some?
Well, I know he was also just. I mean, he's had pretty sketchy health for the past few years, so I think it was like hard for him to get up to that spot. Probably, I don't know exactly.
I remember we were at a game when Pat Carney of the Black Keys filled in for him.
Yeah,
he's inducted into the Guardians Hall of Fame. Over the course of more than 3,500 games, including 3 All-Star games, 11 playoff series, 3 World Series, and Len Barker's perfect game. John Adams, lifelong Cleveland baseball fans know who that is. And he was 71. I thought he was older than that. And so I don't know if they will mark a spot in Progressive Field for him. Imagine maybe they will. Some kind of memorial seat. I don't know. And the other celebrity that I saw who died is a woman named Lisa Loring. And she was the original Wednesday Addams on The Addams Family.
The TV show.
The TV show, The Addams Family.
When was that on, the 60s or 70s?
Probably late 50s, early 60s. The ones with Yvonne DiCarlo and John Astin. When was the Addams Family TV show on? 1964 is when it premiered. It was John Astin. It was, sorry, not Yvonne DiCarlo. Carolyn Jones was Morticia Addams. And Uncle Fester. But anyway, Lisa Loring was the original Wednesday Addams. She was 64. She had been sick. And she would show up every so often. I shouldn't say she'd been sick. She had a stroke. And that contributed to some other things. They took her off life support. But she would show up at Comic-Cons and things. There are people who would meet Lisa Loring. But she had a wild life. Because, you know, when you're on a massive show like that and you're a kid, you're going to go one of two ways. And the one way you can go is you can kind of surf that thing and, you know, show up in other TV shows, or you can end up broken and dejected and, you know.
Bitter. Sometimes they end up bitter.
Yeah. And she was kind of in the middle there. But she had a wild life in that she had a kid at 15. She married a porn actor. She married a guy named Jerry Butler. If you remember 70s porn and 80s porn, you might even remember Jerry Butler. She had been working as a makeup artist on a porn set in the mid-'80s, and they got together and they met. And I guess he said she got increasingly, it always interests me that people who date people in pornography or marry them all of a sudden get upset that person's in porn, and kind of, you know, you figure a regular couple, you know, you get married and the husband or the wife might go, why you work so much? Blah, 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 right? Well, imagine you're marrying somebody in porn, and then you go, why are you constantly having sex with other people? And I guess it had gotten to the point where he said, okay, I'll dial it back or whatever. But then he was secretly doing porn. And he said that he was, quote, addicted to the lifestyle, which I love. You know, I tried to give up sex with a whole lot of other people, but, you know, darn it, I'm just addicted to it. I just love having sex with all those other people. Sorry, honey. They went on the Sally Jesse Raphael show in the early 90s.
Do you get royalties if you're a porn star?
I don't believe so. I think when you're in porn, you sign whatever to the. I mean, that was back in the day when they were like
legit.
You were
porn
signed
stars.
to video companies. Now you can make your own money. But they got divorced by the early 90s. And then he got out of porn. Imagine that. You're trying to get him out of porn. And he goes, honey, baby, I'm addicted to having sex with other women. And then you get divorced. And he gets out. But Jerry Butler had done a lot of things. He tried to be kind of a legit actor, a stage actor. But he made a whole lot of appearances in porno films. 1981 is when he got going. And he won Hustler's Best Actor Award one year. And
Good for him.
Yeah. After this, I kind of don't understand. After retiring from pornography, he resurfaced in a non-sex role in a porn film. You know, you think about the poor people that are in a porn film.
The extras.
But they don't have sex with anyone. They sit there and they go, oh, my God, doctor, what is he going to do? He showed up in a non-sex role in the early aughts in a film called Sexy Sluts. Been there, done that.
The first one? It's tough to get into the first one of any of those franchises because those sequels come out fast.
It doesn't say sexy. There's no number after it, so maybe this is the OG Sexy Sluts. But anyway, Lisa Loring, I'll show you a little bit of this here. Let me give you this money first, and then I'll show you the original Wednesday dance. Everybody's freaking out about the new Wednesday dance, but there was an original one that Lisa Loring did as a kid on that show. You get $1,000 here. It's a chance for you to go fund yourself. Listen closely. You get these once an hour. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword PAY at WMMS.com. That's PAY. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
You know, Netflix has a show called Wednesday that's very, very popular. A girl named Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday Addams. And she did like a dance that's getting replicated on TikTok or whatever. It was like a focal point. You know how like they put the Megan dance in the trailer for the movie and everybody was shooting a wad over this Megan dance, even the movie stinks? Wednesday Addams, currently, that show, a very popular dance on there. But Lisa Loring, as the original Wednesday Addams, had her own dance. I'm going to show you this here if you're watching. Now, it's very much of the time. You know, dance now, if they reboot something, they have to make it a lot more modern. But this little bit of soft shoe here from back in the day was a whole other thing.
This is the latest. It's called the Droop. Come on, now you try it.
Now, see, it's funny if you're watching because Lurch is just standing there staring at her, and she's doing a little bit of soft shoe there. But that's the latest. That's the latest dance in the early 60s, mid-60s.
I think Miss Trivia's a swinger.
Swinger?
You don't want her to think you're square, do you?
Oh.
Then if you learn how to dance well, she'll think you're boss.
Boss?
Yeah, so that was the whole thing there. The OG Wednesday Addams dance with Ted Cassidy, who was the
Adorable.
actor who played Lurch back in the day. 1964 episode called Lurch Learns to Dance. Oh, I probably cut away too soon. You want to watch Lurch dance?
Yeah, I want to
You
see
want to
I
watch
wanna
Ted
see it.
Cassidy go to it here?
Same
There
kind
you
of rock.
go.
Oh, boy, I'm lucky. I'll say I'm lucky. This is my lucky day. You got it, Lurch.
He's getting low there too, right?
I mean,
He's dipping.
especially for Lurch.
Yes. So that's even in the absence of apple-bottom jeans and boots with the fur, Lurch was getting down there. He was getting low, low, low. So anyway, Tom Verlaine from television, or one of the earliest, like I said, a lot of bands that came after, or even around that time. You know, Cleveland had a band called Pere Ubu that never really had huge commercial success, but a great avant-garde band right here in Cleveland, Ohio, kind of around that same time. So really something for everybody who liked that kind of sound. And Lisa Loring, who played Wednesday Addams, and Somebody else died.
People
John
keep-
Adams died.
Yeah, John Adams.
Sorry.
I keep getting comments on this post that I made because I'm bringing back comedy to East End on Wednesday over there in Lakewood. And people, the flyer that I made, people are like, oh, I thought you were dead until I actually read the flyer. So not dead, just...
Why did they think you were dead?
Because of the way that I made the flyer, they thought it was like an in memoriam flyer.
Oh.
So, but...
Wait, they thought you made a flyer for yourself? Dead?
Well, they thought that it was someone posted on my behalf.
Oh, God.
But they didn't really take the time to read it.
Imagine
people are in such a rush these days. They just see a certain format and they go, oh, that's the person died format. Not the person's doing a comedy show format.
Imagine you're just swiping around and then you come around the corner and there's what looks like a Bill Squire death announcement. What a way to get out of the polar blast battle, quite frankly.
I would come back to life.
You'd resurrect yourself for our downhill tubing race.
Yeah, ain't no Grim Reaper going to tell me what to do.
The Grim Reaper. Oh, I love that. I love all it. Go ahead, do it.
Ain't no Grim Reaper gonna tell me what to do.
Right, he did it. He nailed it. How to not live. The Salmon Moose. I got to take a break. If you want to text, 35192. If you don't, it's 35192. You can watch at alancoxshow.com, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.